What is the best camera for YouTube? I mean, you want to have success, you want to get views, you want your videos to just be epic. So what camera should you use?
That's the big question, right?
I'm going to show you. So welcome back, everybody. This is Valerie Morris. She wrote the book on influence. We're all ears. You can find it on Amazon. We're excited to have you here. I'm providing her a lot of coaching about YouTube.
Yeah.
And this is the question that she's asked, is like, what's the best camera for YouTube? Well, you can see I've got a spread here of 4 different cameras. I actually use all of these.
Okay.
And I talk a lot about the iPhone. I love the iPhone. You should start with the iPhone. If you're really asking this question, then the answer is the iPhone. So I'll explain why, and I'll explain what I use these other cameras for and why you might need those. But definitely the iPhone. Androids just don't cut it. That's obviously a personal preference. But the camera that comes on your phone, it's with you everywhere you go.
Right.
And it's just so convenient. The settings are all automatic, and it's a great, great camera. It's HD. A lot of times it's 4K. So I'm not going to talk as much about the iPhone because we did that in another episode. But in most cases, I'm going to recommend definitely starting here. All right?
I like it.
So the next camera I went to was a DSLR.
Okay.
Now this is a big camera. This is my favorite lens. It's actually what we're filming on right there. This is like a replica of what we're filming with right now. A DSLR is built for photography.
Okay.
And photography allows you, well, with a photography camera, they have a whole bunch of control on the picture quality, the temperature of the color temperature, the lighting, the shutter speed. And because you can really hone in on the precision of a picture and blur the background, the focus is real precise. That's why I upgraded to a DSLR. Really, I wanted to be able to blur the background.
Wow.
It's a way that by making a real simple video, I could make it look really professional. And all I had to do is get the right type of lens. Just so you know, this right here, you see this right there, it says that this lens has an f-stop of 1.4.
Okay.
And what that means is the lower that number is, the shallower the depth of field is.
Okay.
So right now, the focus is right here. If I put my hand clear out here, I'm hoping this experiment works. It's not focused on my hand because it's focused on our faces.
Gotcha.
Well, right now the tree behind us is blurry. So right now this lens, we're also the same lens up there, we've got a really shallow depth of field. So it focuses on us, but blurs everything else. And it's just, without having to do any editing afterwards, it just makes the video look real professional. So that's why I upgraded.
And you can do film on it even though it's a photography camera. You can do film and still. Right,
so not all of them can.
Okay.
Most of them nowadays do have the video capability built in, but this specific camera, the Canon 80D, and also its predecessor, which we're actually filming on right there, the 70D, they both came with the capability of filming up to 30 minutes straight. And you put in an SD card. So the SD card, this one's got 128 gigabytes on there. So you can film, all day long on one card. And if you hit 30 minutes, you just have to hit record again and it will keep going.
Okay.
The other great advantage to this camera is the auto tracking focus. So one thing I'm going to demonstrate, and Alicia, if you can flip the screen around so Valerie can see this. Watch how, so if I come right here, all of a sudden it shifts to me. Now there we go, now it's focusing on me and it will track me. If I come closer, see how Valerie back here gets more and more blurry, but as I back away, this camera's doing this all automatically.
Wow.
So that is really cool. That was a big breakthrough for video, is to have an auto tracking focus like that. So this camera will do that.
That's great.
And that's critical in video.
Sure.
Or at least, you don't want to be manually controlling the focus if people are moving around or whatnot.
Right.
So a lot of DSLRs will have the
And this is a good
manual.
one for YouTube.
Totally. So have you heard of Casey Neistat?
Yes.
So this is the camera that he uses or used to use. He switched back and forth between a Sony, but for a long time, he'd have the Gorilla Pod. it was the Canon 80D that he's using because it's also got a flip screen.
Oh, okay.
So you find a camera that's got a flip screen.
Okay.
Kind of like allows you to do it in selfie mode. So this is my favorite. In fact, that's why I've got 2 of them. I almost bought a third.
Oh my goodness.
But then I ended up getting this, and I'll explain why.
Okay.
But amazing, amazing. If you want to go DSLR, I do recommend the Canon 80D. The 80D over the 70D it can film at 60 frames per second.
Okay.
That's applicable if I want to ever show something in slow motion.
Nice.
So really cool. The next camera that I'm hoping Canon comes out with will have 4K and it will film at 120p. Or okay. No, it'll film at 120 frames per second.
Okay.
So that would make this camera even better. So this is a GoPro, and I think this is the Hero 6 or something. I've got the other one that's a Hero Session 4. It's a little cube. Okay. But a GoPro is nice for certain styles. If you're going to film in a swimming pool, this is the camera for you.
Yeah.
If you're some of my videos on my channel, I'll actually mountain bike.
Okay.
And I'll put this camera on my chest. I have a harness thing that I can put it on my chest, so when I'm mountain biking, it sees in front of me. This part's embarrassing. I have my smaller GoPro. I put on a selfie stick that I have strapped to my bike helmet, so it extends out, and so I have a camera right here that's aiming back at me. Oh. So when I turn my head, I'm always so I can mountain bike.
You get a few funny looks when you're on the trail.
Oh, definitely. These guys on horseback were like, "What is that on your head?" And I'm like, "I'm making videos." And so the guy on the horse was like, "This is me riding down a trail. All right, this is me going over a rock." They're making fun of me. But so GoPros have their use. The picture quality, they obviously don't even compare to the camera on your phone. That's my opinion. They're getting better and better, but they're a much wider angle. Yep. And so for filming a video like this, it would look really weird to film on a GoPro. Sure. But for adventure and outdoor stuff, motion stuff, these are epic. Okay. For that type of shots. And you've seen lots of GoPro because they do good in their marketing for YouTubers. Okay, I actually learned I'd never considered buying a point and shoot. This is it's a small camera that it does have a flip screen, so it's great. This was actually introduced to me by Casey Neistat as well. Okay. Because he wanted a camera that was smaller, that he could fit in his pocket, that he could just take with him on the go, and I use this for vlogging now. Really? So, and imagine putting this on a little tripod or a gorilla pod that I hold in my hand. It's heavy. Right. So if I'm walking around talking to this thing.
Can I hold it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy. Yeah. Your arms would get a workout.
Definitely. And I can't carry it with me everywhere. Yeah. But something like this I can, and it's not very intrusive.
And that has video on it.
Yeah, so this is built for video as well. Okay. And also, it's got a great lens that goes from 24 millimeter. This is actually a prime lens that films at 24 millimeter, so that's the angle. Yes. Okay. But I can zoom way in out to 200. So if I'm out and about and I see a buffalo, I can like zoom way in on it, and it's got the selfie screen. If I want to zoom in on my nose or something, there we go. And it's got a decent f-stop. It goes down to where this one, the depth of field is 1.4. This one goes down to 2.8. Okay. So it's not quite as good of a lens as this, but this can't zoom at all. It's just one angle, where this goes from 24 to 200. Wow. So for a vlogging camera, I actually highly recommend this. This can film at 4K.
And what is this?
Yeah, so this is the Sony RX100 version 6. Okay. So it's a great camera. You see there it says 4K. Wow. It's not a cheap camera. Really? It's not a cheap camera. It's $1,200. Oh wow. It was when I bought it. Maybe it's come down a little bit in price. But if you're really serious about getting into vlogging, I love it. It
was worth every penny, huh?
It depends on the type of vlogging you're going to do, because a lot of times I always have this with me. Sure. So more often than this. So I'll still use this for vlogging. Yeah. I'll use this for vlogging when I go out and I know I'm going to be vlogging. I'll intentionally have this because the picture quality is better. You can have it on a tripod. I've got the zoom if I want to show different things. Sure. If I'm doing things that are more adventurous, then I'll use this. Okay. I don't vlog with this anymore. Okay. It's just too much. Way too big and way too bulky, and people are looking less on picture quality, more on the content with a vlog. With a vlog, yep. So if I'm talking, if I'm in a space where I have a tripod, I always use this just because I love the picture quality.
That's great.
But yeah, I have different options really for the convenience and the use. I can't, you know, I'm not going to take this underwater or... One of the coolest shots. One of the coolest shots. I was vlogging about my trip to the Philippines.
Yeah.
And the hotel or the Airbnb that I was staying at had a swimming pool. So I put this down in the water on the bottom, and then I swam across the top because you could see the blue sky and the clouds moving.
Oh, cool.
And then I swam across. I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty cinematic shot there.
Nice.
That I couldn't have done with my DSLR.
Yeah, couldn't have done that.
So I know it's, you know, when we put out 4 cameras, what's the best camera for YouTube? Start with the iPhone. Start on YouTube, start getting traction, and then when you have a need to film underwater, or you're going to start vlogging a lot more, or you want to blur the background, needs like that are what will justify. Another type of camera is a drone. People ask me, Nate, you should get a drone. And I'm like, that would be so fun. It'd be a great toy.
Sure.
But I haven't really justified how I'm going to use it in my business. Like
sure.
How I could get some pretty fun shots vlogging.
Sure.
But I don't vlog enough that I've chosen to make that investment yet.
All right.
So when you have a reason, that's when you'll upgrade to another camera. So now I'm curious. I've just been pouring all this opinion onto you about cameras and whatnot.
Yeah.
What are you hearing? What do you think is a fit for you at this point?
Well, I think the iPhone definitely makes the most sense for me just because it's with me all the time. The GoPro is really intriguing though for me because we have our ranch, and a lot of times I make videos with the goats, and so if I could strap it to me, I could get some fun angles, or even strap it to one of the goats. That could be really interesting.
So here's a cool thing that brings up. You could strap something like this to the goat or something and actually control it from your phone.
Oh.
So you could start it and stop it. You could preview it and see what's going on.
That would be cool.
That's one thing that only GoPro has.
That would be really fun because a lot of times the goats, and this is very true with other animals, they're more comfortable with each other than they are with humans. And so you could get some cool shots of them like walking up to another goat, like from that angle. So I think there's some fun things that I could do with this camera. I think this one feels the most intimidating to me. And part of it's the weight. I just know I wouldn't use it as much because all of these other 3 are so much easier to move around. But I can see why you would do that when you're in a setting like this where we're recording a bunch all in a row.
And I'd actually recommend, I don't have it here with me, but it's the GoPro Hero Session. Okay. You don't even have to get the newest model. They've come out with version 6, version 7. Go back to even version 4 or 5. You can get it for $100 or $200. I think the newest version is $200, so you can get the older versions for $100. But it's the shape of a little cube.
Okay.
And it's so lightweight that you could hook that to a goat and they wouldn't even notice. Whereas this is maybe 2 or at least double the size, triple the size maybe.
They would know it's there.
Yeah, it's a bit heavier. So go with the Hero Session. Yeah,
okay.
and it will connect to your phone. So
very fun.
The advantage of this one is there is a screen on the back, so I can view it or I can review videos and play it even underwater.
Wow.
But the Hero Session doesn't have that, but you can do that. You can view it on your phone.
Very cool.
So I'm curious what you're going to choose. How are you going to film your YouTube episodes? Comment below. And if you've been to my channel, you know how much I love keyword research. I want to give you my keyword research guide for free. So if you click the link below, you'll get access to that. I take you through step-by-step the tools that I use and how you pick the topics that will get your videos ranked on day 1 on YouTube. Talk to you tomorrow.